All right, so today what we're gonna be doing is finding out what happened to my power in my car. 1096 been the best pass this year. It's been kind of a little bit of a slug this year, ever since I went through it. I don't know if I screwed up, something was happening. So, I didn't film it, but I did check the degree on the cam. It seems to be all right now. I checked it. It's 102 center line on it. Is what the cam card says. And it was at 104.5 when I checked it. So then I just went back through all my stuff here before I tore it down, and it was at 104. So that wasn't the issue then. At first I was thinking I found something there. Did not. Did a dry compression test, 165, 170 across the board, and cold. So then I did a leak down also. It does have 35% leak down kind of across the board, all cold again, not warmed up. So it'd probably get a little bit better if it got warm, but still 35%. Sounds like most of it's coming around the rings, but it's kind of hard to tell. So I did stick a bore scope in too. Top pistons, they got oil on them obviously. Took it to drag and drive all last week, as you guys seen. Speaking of what, if you haven't done one, do one. I'll be doing it again next year. Back to the subject. So I put the bore scope in it. I noticed that on, was it 4 cylinders altogether? It looks like the exhaust valve has kind of been just barely, like, giving a little, mwah. Yeah, to the pistons. Not enough to hurt anything. It looks like it just kind of made an outline of it, but it didn't really like dent the piston. But you can tell it got in there a little bit. Hoping it didn't nick the exhaust valves. So now I'm sitting here contemplating, should I pull the heads, make sure that the valves look okay, or what? I don't know. I really don't know now. I'm at a loss. I mean, I'm pretty sure I did valve, I checked all the valve springs too. Seat pressure's kind of, I think it went from the lowest of a 140, I believe, up to a 230 on seat pressures. They were just kind of all over the place, so I don't know. I mean, they're old. Springs range on this thing. Like I said, when I took it apart, the bearings had 07 in them, so I'm pretty sure the valve springs are probably from 07 too. I'm pretty sure nobody's cracked open this thing. So I am going to need some valve springs, I do believe. Now, is that my whole issue with the power loss in this car? I don't know. But I will tell you, valve springs are not cheap anymore. Springs alone is $475 from Pack. If I go with the springs that Pack recommended, I'll have to change retainers because these are 1,550. The ones that they are telling me that be best suited with a 1,250. Well, retainers alone, I guess with the titanium, are $300. So you're talking almost $800 wrapped up in springs and retainers now. And I hate spending $800 on springs on this thing and it run exactly like it does now. Yeah, I'd probably kick the windshield in on it. So, now I'm just sitting here contemplating, should I pop the heads off? Or I can do the old hillbilly trick. I can pull the intake off, fill the chamber full of water, you know what I mean, make sure all the valves are backed off. Put the plugs in it, roll it over, or whatever. So it builds up a little bit of compression in each cylinder a little bit. You know what I mean, just put them in finger tight, it doesn't even hold up. See if you see any water bubbling. Or put a bore scope in it, see if you see any water dripping around the valves. That will tell me the valves aren't seating. As of right now, that's probably my easiest and cheapest route to go. It's no hillbilly trick, it works. It's just like taking the heads off, flipping them over, and just filling the chambers up, letting them sit overnight with something, and come back next morning and see if it's gone. So, I don't know, dude. I'm starting to feel defeated with this car, man. I've done everything to it, and I just can't get the thing up. I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. So, I'll eventually get it. Eventually. Someday. Might be collecting Social Security, but I'll eventually get it. Let me figure out what I want to do. Alright, so here's where I'm at. Still not 100% sure, but here's where I'm at. I think I'm at. Is since I did move the cam 2 degrees, thinking about just putting it back together. I'll put my old converter back in it, the looser one. And just put new set plugs and stuff in it since you got it apart. And right now, see what happens. I mean, I'm 99.9% sure it needs valve springs. But that is my biggest issue. I'm almost 99. At least 97. See ya. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just put it back together. Everything's been changed on it. The cam is 2 degrees, like I said, now. So, I don't think it's gonna make a massive difference. Might make some. Put the old converter back in it, the looser one. Get rid of this tight converter, it's in it now. Because I knew at 36 degrees of timing, with the other converter in it, when the cam timing was there, where it's at, originally, it ran the best of 1101, I think it was, at 119 with a 144.60. So, put it right back to that combination with 2 degrees difference in the cam timing. That will be my only change. We'll see what happens, see if it slows it down, picks it up. The weather's, they're calling for rain today a little bit, looks like, but if it don't rain, it's gonna be nice, because it's nice and cool out. So that will probably help it too, because today I ran it, when I ran that, it was a bit muggy out. So the weather conditions aren't exactly the same, that's for sure. I don't know, I'm gonna do this, see what happens. I mean, regardless, I'm gonna eventually have to put springs on it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I'm gonna have to, I can't, nothing, I have to do it, have to. But I just really don't wanna tear it down right now, because it's gonna be, if I order the springs, figure they're gonna be a week out. That's another week, and I have something going on, so that's another week. So it'll be down for at least 3 weeks from now, and here it is, damn near the end of July. So you're talking about, it'll be the end of August before we get this thing back up and running. By then, we're getting towards the end of the season. But, that's what I'll do. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I mean, there's nothing that I can't do. See, put them on or nothing. But I do think, I originally was going to put them on with the heads on the car. Think to be safe, I won't pull the heads off, give them back to them with springs retainers. Have them recheck everything in the heads, make sure everything look good, and then reset the heads. Just so I'm safe. And then while he's doing that, I'll probably end up pulling the motor out since it does have blow by. And I don't think it's coming around the valves. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds to me like it's coming around the rings, which could be my home job, that's for damn sure. Because it has steel rings with moly base on them. They're a pain in the ass anyhow, the seat. So, I might take the block to machine shop, have them just check it, make sure the bore is really good. If not, then I'll go, if I have to, 10 more thousand, say we'll put a 40 piston in there if I have to. Rather not, but if I have to, I have to. And I have them hone it and everything else. Then I'll reassemble it again. That'll probably be an end of the season project. Like I said, I just probably won't go do much running with it, but I want to keep it running, so at least I can do car shows and enjoy the car. Right now, I just won't be able to get its full potential. No big deal. At least it'll be running still. I think that's about it on this turd ball. Let me get on this thing, man. Let me get this timing chain guard back on, the water pump back on, lash the valves, and then pop the trans out of this thing. Do another converter again, 16th time. Sometimes I hate cars, other times I love cars. But you know what? As annoying as it is trying to chase this lost power in this car, anyway, it's still kind of fun. Because it gets you to keep your brain functioning. I mean, they never need any work, then after a while they probably get boring. And right now, this one's really keeping me working. Trying to figure this out, because I don't know. All right, let me get this timing chain cover on, which I really wouldn't have had to pull it off originally, but there's 4 bolts. Dude, I don't know if they've been in there since 1972 or somebody put them in there at 250 foot-pounds. I cannot get them some bitches out, dude. So that's the whole reason why I had to take the whole cover off. If not, I could just took that off. Took balancer off, took that off, and degreed it. It would have made my life a whole lot simpler, but it felt like it was going to snap the bolts off, so I stopped. I don't have to deal with that too. Let me get this thing cleaned up, get the cover on the balancer, water pump, all the junk back on it, and I'll be right back. So, stay tuned. Oh, take the bell housing bolts out, the trans is ready to come down. That'd take that long. I've been on it about 20 minutes. Made it easier. Not putting oil pan on yet, so I can get the torque variables a whole lot easier. So that helps. So yeah, she is about ready to come on down. All right, get that in, get the pan gas going. You know, we'll snatch the balancer up on her and get the adjusting some valves on her. Oh, good news is, I did get the bolts loose finally. I went ahead and stuck it back up, got that cleaned up. And I was thinking about trying to like sneak it in here, but this is the oversized gasket ends on this turd. Just technically, I could cut it off. I could put what came with it, but this is a 1-piece rubber. I don't want to do that. It's a reusable one. So I'm drain oil. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop the pan down. Put the cover on it that way. I think it's gonna make life a whole lot easier for me. I mean, it's wide open. It's easy to get to. I think that's my best plan of attack. Plus, need oil change anyway. I have a dragway. I haven't done it yet. All right, I'm gonna get that down. Pan's off. I already went around checking everything. Pop filter off. Cut it open. No metal in it. Nothing in the pan. So, I mean, the bottom end's looking good. And I even rotated it around too and looked up in the cylinder where I checked all cam lobes, and the wheels are riding dead center in the cam, so the cam's not walking or nothing dumb either. And you look at the cylinders, they look beautiful. You see a nice cross hatch in them and everything else. I don't really mean that the rings are sealed 100%, but at least I don't see no gouges or nothing dumb in there. I mean, so that's a little bit better. There's nothing to pick up the screen. I mean, the car was all shitted up with road grime and I guess oil or something blowing out of this junk pile. We're putting all the miles on it last week for the old drag and drive. But, I mean, at least there's happy news there that so far the bottom end is looking pretty decent in her. I need all the good news I can get right now with how this thing's been treating me lately. But you know, I can't complain, I guess, because still going on drag and drive, if I can spit it out here. Last week, only issue I had, as you guys seen, shock mount snapped off, which I kind of expected because I got the shocks on the front are way too short when the thing's compressed. I only got probably an inch travel right here. So, other than that, dude, I can't complain. I mean, I ran 1130s all week. I ran 2 1140 past ACO, which is first and apparently the last time I get to run ACO since it's closed down now. And up the week with like 1144 average or something, 1141. And I don't know. Hope something happens. But I'm telling you, much I hate to admit it, I'm almost positive it's valve springs. I mean, I don't mind forking up the money for them if I'm 100% sure that's the issue. That's my only problem. I just want to make sure I'm covering all my bases before I condemn something and waste money. What I'm doing now isn't really costing me much. It cost me, you know, I mean, just $20 for timing chain gaskets. So, and need an oil change, so I can't include that. So I don't mind doing this. This is just labor. It's not really money. But I really hate to cough up $800 on some springs and retainers, and it'd be exactly the way it is. So that's the only reason I am doing everything I'm doing, if you want to know why. That is why. So I'm trying to keep from wasting money. I don't like wasting money. I hate wasting money. I don't think anybody likes wasting money. All right, I'm gonna get that cover on, get that pan back up on there, and then I'll snatch the trans out real quick, some stuff in here. Throw that converter in. It don't take long. This thing, thank goodness. Then put her down, last straddles, and fire it up, set timing. See what happens. Oh, it's alive again. I'm gonna take it over track now, see how it does. Hopefully better. Sometimes I'll forget about the van track and you go,
That's why I told him, leave it alone. I told him to shut it the fuck off.
That's Steve's kid. That's his daughter. Oh, as you can just now see, advancing the cam timing, horrible idea. 10 out of 10 does not approve with my car on that one. But, it will. At least I learned. I'm gonna put it back at the 102. That was in it. And I guess I might have to just do valve springs. No advance or buzz about that. Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna end this here. I'm putting it back together now. I got a car show good to today that we're having a run on. All right, until next time.